Welcome back to the Mayorverse, everybody. Mayor Reynolds, aka Midnight Mayor, coming at you. Boy, oh boy, did we have a big day on stream yesterday. I interviewed Robert Bowling, 402 studio head of Midnight Society, just last night on Twitch. We got a ton of information out of him. Rob was great. He answered so many questions, gave us so many reveals, teases, so many things to talk about. You can get the whole interview right on this channel, guys. It's the last video he posted. So if you want to hear the whole video, which I recommend, so you can hear what Rob said from the horse's mouth, I recommend you listen to that. But this video is trying to sum up all the things that Rob teased, hinted, announced during the interview last night as quickly as possible. Thank you to Rob for sitting down with us. It was awesome. And thank you to everybody who attended the interview live on stream and asked questions, some of which Rob got to answer. So without wasting time, that's what this video is about. Let's talk about everything revealed during my interview with 402. So the thing that was on everybody's mind was, of course, Snapshot 6. Snapshot 5 released on March 17th. Snapshot 6 is set to release approximately 3 months later. We didn't know the exact date. We still don't know the exact date, but I asked 402 himself. I said, don't release it between June 18th and June 24th because I'll be on vacation. He laughed, he smiled, and he said, I'm sorry. That's really unfortunate. This was virtually, unless he was trolling me, confirmation. Snapshot 6 is releasing sometime between June 18th and June 24th, which would be the approximate 3-month time frame. My guess is it's going to be released Friday, June 23rd. If I remember correctly, most of the snapshots have released on a Friday. So mark it on your calendars, guys. Without, delays, Snapshot 6 of Deadrop is likely coming on June 23rd. The other big question about Snapshot 6, and we have several, was will tower keys be sold again at the release of Snapshot 6? A lot of people want to know. A lot of people waiting to get in the game, access Deadrop, and so on. According to Rob, they are not currently planning to sell tower keys for Snapshot 6. He did say that they are open to feedback from the community. They know that players want, there's definitely a desire for it, but they're not interested in, they don't need the money, basically. They're going to open the floodgates on Deadrop when they need players, more players, to test big features in snapshots. That's the whole point of snapshots, is testing, right? And he inferred that the features of Snapshot 7, not 6, might just be that. So we're thinking right now tower keys might go for sale to the public again sometime around Snapshot 7, which would be this fall. A question was also asked about our stashes, and will our stashes and all our items in our loot carry over into Snapshot 6? And long story short, Rob said he can't confirm just yet, but right now he thinks that there will be a snapshot or a stash wipe. And the main reason for that being that if there's certain features that need to get tested, new changes to the game that involve your inventory, involve your stash and such, or certain changes along those lines, they might need to wipe it so they can actually test those things. And he says his gut feeling is that our stashes and inventory will be wiped in Snapshot 6. All right, so during the Discord AMA that Rob did about 3-4 weeks ago, he seemed basically giddy about vehicles, and they've been heavily teased to be Snapshot 7. That's the time that something vehicle-related is coming. We've speculated about, potentially getting certain parts for your vehicle to customize it and extracting with it and so on and so forth. But I asked Rob point blank, can you confirm some type of playable gameplay loop for vehicles in Deadrop? He smiled. You can tell he's so excited for this. And he said straight up, yeah, he can. So what I think, this is pure speculation, guys. What I think is what you're going to see as far as gameplay goes is I think this also means, pure speculation, we're going to get a new playable space in Snapshot 7. More on that in a second. To test vehicles, I don't think we'll be driving them around in Sector 3 cold storage, right? My personal opinion. So I think we're going to have customizable vehicles, and maybe you'll be able to spawn them in or something like that in this certain area. We don't know how it's worked, but I'm expecting something like PUBG's vehicles. Nothing like with weapons built into them. Again, this is pure speculation on my part, but you'll be able to spawn in a customized vehicle to drive in Deadrop and possibly move around certain sectors that are designed for vehicles. Again, I don't expect to be able to get vehicles into cold storage, for example, but that's just what I'm expecting. But 402 has confirmed a playable gameplay loop for vehicles in Deadrop, which is huge. Speaking of new sectors and testing, 402 gave us some insight into new sectors and how they're going to work. So going forward, there's whatever is going to be the proving grounds. Think of that almost as a public test realm or something like that for Deadrop. So he confirmed that the proving grounds is going to be a place for specific sectors and environments and things to be tested. So once a sector is finished, quote unquote, or no longer needs to be tested, it will move out of what we call right now the proving grounds to be, it as part of the main game, so to speak. But whatever's in the proving grounds will be something that needs to be tested. So this might mean that the first thing we see in proving grounds, maybe the next sector, again, maybe in Snapshot 7, where we'll be able to test these vehicles. Maybe it'll be in blockout stages. We don't know. But that proving grounds, which is what we're playing right now, is an area to test unfinished sectors that still need to be play tested. And I think that's a great idea. There's been a lot of talk lately about Deadrop as a competitive game. People are participating in tournaments, myself included. There's a lot of really competitive people in the Deadrop community. So I asked Rob about those people who might not be so excited about the introduction of PvE elements or just not a fan of PvE elements. And he was very forward in saying that he feels very comfortable saying that there will be modes of play within Deadrop for everybody. And that means the main game, so to speak, PvPvE, which is the plan. Again, vertical extraction shooter. This has been the plan from the beginning. But there will also be other ways to play, such as PvP only and PvE only. And while we don't have a lot of details on this, he suggested that a lot of this stuff will be supported by UGC mode, which, if you don't know, is Deadrop's creative mode. Rob has reiterated how excited he is for this, kind of like Deadrop's Forge mode or Fortnite creative mode, that kind of thing. A lot of those experiences will be able to be made there. But he was, and that's probably in the short term. But in the long term, he feels very comfortable saying that there will be experiences in Deadrop for people who enjoy only PvE, who enjoy PvPvE, and who enjoy only PvP. So he felt very comfortable saying that. So competitive people, rest easy. Speaking of UGC mode, I asked Rob towards the end of the interview, because we talked about UGC mode a lot, and he seems to be very keen on it, and it's obviously a big part of Deadrop and Midnight Society's future. When might we see UGC mode actually release? And while we just didn't get a hard confirmation, all of this is subject to change. Again, they're developing this game in the open. Delays happen, things happen, and nothing's hard confirmed virtually ever, right? Even with games that are released, quote unquote, roadmaps get broken all the time, so on and so forth. Things happen in game development and in business, right? But I asked him, when might we see UGC mode? And we had this funny cat and mouse game about what certain phrases mean and what are they related to certain numbers. And he said basically what it came down to was less than 4 snapshots away. So what I'm thinking is Snapshot 8 is the current plan to introduce UGC mode. We'll see. Again, not a confirmation, but that's kind of their plan right now. I think I'd put that like January time frame, something like that. This one surprised me quite a bit. Rob basically said melee weapons are gonna be a thing. There have been questions about these since they were included in our first 10,000 variants. There's bats and crowbars and tomahawks and all sorts of stuff there. And he said that he sees them every day, that they're that far in development. They're not gonna be in Snapshot 6, but melee weapons are definitely gonna be a thing. I'm a bit surprised by this, to be honest. I'm interested to see how they are implemented, how strong they are, how does that change the loot pool of the game. But I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. A little bit about AI, since they're assumed to be the main feature of Snapshot 6, and by that we mean, again, the PvPvE nature of Deadrop. These aren't just, bots to play against. These are an actual part of the game, enemies within the tower that you'll be fighting against alongside, actual players like we do right now. And he seemed very confident that the way you're going to engage these AI, it's going to be your choice. You're not going to be forced to fight these AI at any point if you don't want to. That they're designing the game so if you want to go after these things, you will be able to by choice. If you don't want to, you won't be forced to fight them. And he specifically said that Dr. Disrespect has a lot of very strong feelings about AI and the implementation of the AI, which is good to know for all of us, people who maybe played games like Apex Legends, Warzone 2, and aren't a huge fan of the AI or PvE elements of those games. So that was fun. And then he also said that the evolution of the AI and the enemies that are in the tower has come a long way beyond just the initial concept of your standard, you know, NPC soldiers or whatever. And I specifically asked a question about, because the setting of Deadrop is that gritty kind of futuristic 2020B, is an 80s movie version of the future kind of thing. Are there any plans for like cool like boss mobs or interesting enemies, you know, cyborgs, cybernetic monstrosity kind of things? He smiled. He was pretty quiet, but he said, what I can say is that there's a lot going on in that tower. So I think we're going to see some interesting twists with the actual enemies that we see in Deadrop beyond, hey, here's some soldiers carrying assault rifles, and I'm very excited for that. We talked a lot about the narrative of the game, the setting, the universe of Deadrop, how unique it is, and he seems very excited, as am I, about stories that could potentially be told in this universe. He referenced how the narrative has really changed a lot of this game, and it's evolved in many ways that they didn't initially expect. And I specifically asked him, you know, if there were any transmedia adoptions for Deadrop down the road, what would he like to see, or what could he see? And he said, you know, a real actual comic series is something that he could see happening. And down the road, he even said likely, and you know, we're talking down the road, guys. There's so many factors at play here. He could see something like an animated series, something along the lines of Invincible, as far as, you know, that style of show, a kind of, you know, animated series, but very adult in tone. And I know a lot of us Invincible fans are sitting here going, oh my God, make this happen today. But I thought that was a really interesting question to ask him and the answer to get, and I'm very excited for it. 402 confirms that they are planning on self-publishing Deadrop on all platforms. We know they plan to launch on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And he specifically referenced also having discussions with Epic Games about, for example, the Epic Games launcher. But everybody that they're talking with, they plan to self-publish. They don't plan to partner with a publisher. And he also confirmed that a Midnight Society launcher is something that they're talking about and is in the works. It's in the plan. We all know that a lot of us would like to see that to help people update their build of the game. The snapshot form of development is a lot different. And some people, for example, don't understand that you have to download a new snapshot every time it comes out. It doesn't auto-update to the new version of the game. So he said that they're doing not just a Deadrop launcher, not that that's in the works, but something like a Midnight Society launcher, which Deadrop would be the first game on, obviously. But down the road, whatever else Deadrop makes in the future could also be released on that Midnight Society launcher. I'm really looking forward to that and hoping it comes sooner rather than later. Last few small things. He asked for feedback from players on controller. He says that's something that they're really looking for more feedback on. So he said, you know, please try playing with a controller. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we need to work on. That's really important to them right now, is that feedback about controllers. He talked about, you know, kill cams, or what he called instigator cam, which, you know, in Call of Duty, somebody kills you, you see a quick replay of how that happened. That is something that's on their roadmap. And that's basically it, guys. That's pretty much everything. They're also working on custom keybinds and stats that are both, sounds like they're coming relatively soon, I'm going to say. He said that custom keybinds were once planned for Snapshot 6, but he doesn't think they're going to make it in Snapshot 6, or he's not sure. So it might get pushed back. But those sound like they're coming relatively soon. Like if not Snapshot 6, probably Snapshot 7 for custom keybinds. And then stats, we really don't know, but he said they're doing the work to implement player stats and so on now. So who knows when that would be implemented, but it's definitely something that they're already working on. And overall, a lot of good stuff here, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this video, guys. Hopefully that summed up the interview well, but I really, really, really recommend that you listen to the interview. It was super fun talking to Rob. His passion for gaming and for Deadrop in Midnight Society and the community, all of us, really shines through listening to him talk. So I really recommend that you guys listen to the interview in full, which is on this channel. Again, thank you to Rob for sitting down with me. I'm hoping to have more of the devs from Midnight Society join me on stream and give their insights, talk about, you know, the 12 a.m. process, talk about what they do and things that they would like to see, all sorts of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you're following Deadrop and Midnight Society, you need to be subscribed to this channel. And we're doing tons of updates about this game. That's all this channel is about, is Deadrop and Midnight Society. Join us on stream or on Discord to chat with us about all things Deadrop all the time. And leave your comments down below if you have a specific question that you would like to hear Rob or other members of Midnight Society asked in the future. and I will certainly take those into account. So thanks for watching, guys. See ya in the next video. Mayor Reynolds, Midnight Mayor, out. This video is sponsored by me, kinda. You can use Mayor in your support a creator slot in Fortnite and across the Epic Game Store to support me, and it costs you nothing. Part of your purchase is simply donated to me through the Epic Creator Program. So within Fortnite and within the Epic Game Store, make sure you have Mayor listed in your support a creator slot, and you will support my content creation budget directly. Thank you to everyone who does. Let's keep this going. Make sure you're using either the Doomslayer skin or the Master Chief skin, or actually the Marcus Phoenix skin, because those are the 3 best skins in Fortnite, and we all know it.